Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown Travels.
Lori here.
Well, Lori, I just got off the phone with a couple. They're 70 years old and they want to live in Mexico, and they have about an income of about $1,500 a month. And so they're concerned, would they be able to do that? So we had a private consultation with them. They signed up for the private phone consultation, and I was able to go over a lot of different things that was on their list. As an example, I went over medical care. I went over housing, visas. Is it safe in Mexico? How do you bank in Mexico? Do you need a bank account in Mexico? One of the concerns that they had is about the visa. Could they qualify for a visa and having an income of $1,500 a month? And so I basically said, no, you're not going to be able to qualify for a permanent or a temporary visa, not on that. But they did have assets that didn't qualify them. And so that's the direction that they're going to be going in, is using those assets and being able to come down and live in Mexico. So in the 50 minutes, I always say make a list, and we went through the list. But what they really wanted to see, and I said, you know, I have a video that Lori and I made a few years ago. It's about a couple that are in their 70s and they retired in Mexico. And so this video is a rerun, and if you haven't seen that, that's when I'm presenting it to the new people. Jerry Brown here with Jerry Brown's Travels, and today what we're going to do an interview. I have Stephanie and Frank Brown, and they have chosen Mexico to set up their home base, and we're just going to ask them some questions about how come they've chose Mexico. Now we're in the Puerto Vallarta area, okay, and I know we're north of Puerto Vallarta. You know, Stephanie, tell us a little bit about the town here, the village, and why you like it.
Lo de Marcos is where we stay, and it's a small village. It's probably about 45 minutes outside of the Puerto Vallarta airport. It's very authentic, which I like. We have cowboys that ride their horses in the town square and through the village in the evenings, and they're training their horses on the beach during the day. It's a very walkable beach, palm trees all around. I love the authenticity of this village.
Okay. Now, Frank, you know, in doing your research, you know, and how did you choose this particular area as a home base? What was it that, you know what I mean, drew you here? Why do you like this versus, you know, inland Mexico?
And why we selected this area, again, most of all because of the beaches and the beautiful backdrop of the jungles, and the value of the accommodations, and the Mexican people in the smaller towns are very personal.
Stephanie, as a woman, you know, from a woman's point of view, you know, this is really important because, you know, around the world we've heard about how terrible Mexico is, you know, that it's not safe, that, you know, you have to lock your house, you have to lock your doors, you just can't live here, you know, they're just afraid. But Stephanie, from a woman's point of view especially, what do you think about that? You're down here living.
I feel very safe in Mexico, just like in the United States. There's places that you don't go, and a woman wouldn't go by herself, and those are the things I wouldn't do here in Mexico. But I can walk down the streets in the evening and feel very safe. I just don't have any fear at all.
Okay, so some of the stories then in traveling around Mexico and stuff like that, when you talk to other women, you know what I mean, do they have that same type of sentiment that you do, that it's safe down here?
Any of the women that I associate with feel very come down here if I didn't feel safe.
Okay.
You know, so I think that there's just I think that people hear a lot of stories that may be true in some places, but the places that we've always traveled, I have always felt very comfortable.
Now, Frank, what about, you know what I mean, for you guys, let's say like shopping, you know, going, you know, worried about food and buying things? Is it very difficult to get things here in Mexico that you're used to back in California?
Most places in Mexico, if you have some type of a large city, Puerto Vallarta, or let's say Cancun, or Playa del Carmen on the Mayan Riviera, they'll always usually have large stores, and you can find anything there that you should be able to find in the States.
So those bigger department stores or stores like Costco and stuff, you can get those in.
Yes.
Now, Stephanie, this is always a concern. How about medical care? This is very important, to people. You feel safe in the company, but what about the medical care? Do you feel safe with that?
Very much so. We do have a dentist here in our little village that we stay in, and I go to him. We have a doctor here in town. I actually fell down the stairs at our house this time and thought that I fractured my arm, but I didn't. And Frank took me to the hospital over the next town over. It's about 20 minutes from here, and I had x-rays there and saw a doctor, and everything was fine. So, yeah, I feel that we have got, anything medical. I mean, if there was a big emergency, I probably would want to go back to the States, but for just average things, I feel comfortable here with the doctors.
Oh, okay. So you feel comfortable. That's great. Now, Frank, what about this? What about social things? What do you do for social things here? It's a small village here, and you've showed me some of your artwork. You're an artist, What do you guys do for social? What about interacting with other, other fellow travelers and people that live around the world like you guys do?
Well, in this area here in Puerto Vallarta, you find it that most communities we go into, there's a lot of good musicians that may play at the restaurants or play in the square, and so the entertainment in that respect, we don't lack entertainment.
This is really important. This is probably what it gets down to the bottom line. We all want to know how expensive it is to live here. What is your monthly expense, that your rent, your food, all of the stuff that, it takes to live here?
Okay, we spend $600 a month for our home, and that is a 2-bedroom home. We're oceanfront. All of the utilities are included in it. But we do have friends that pay $250 a month for a home, and it's not on the beach, it's farther back in the village. And then we have friends who own $300,000 houses here, so you've got many ranges that, whatever you are comfortable with, I think that you can find it inside of this village. And I would say our total cost for a month is probably $1,300 to $1,400. Now, that's not saying that we go to big expensive restaurants, because we don't go into the city to do that. We prefer staying in the village, but there are very good restaurants here, and I don't think that we lack for entertainment.
Okay. So what I understand you're saying is that a person could come down, or a couple like you, say $1,300 a month, and if two couples maybe combine their Social Security. Maybe some people can do it on one Social Security. But so in other words, it sounds like you guys are able to live down here on your Social Security.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Well, that's great. So you can live off your Social Security. Well, Frank and Stephanie, I want to thank you for this interview. This has been great, information that you... Don't forget, every Friday night, 5 p.m. California time, we have a free video for you. Check it out. Oh yeah, make a comment and also subscribe, thumbs up, and
the video is free.
And we have over 500 videos. Those are free. We have a Facebook account. That's free. You can ask any questions there. So we have a lot of free stuff. You see my face pop up there? Well, if you just touch on it, you'll be subscribing absolutely free. Free. Subscribe.